Hello and welcome to the Sporting Tribune today on KIRN 670 AM in Southern California, 98.5 The Bet in Las Vegas, and the Hawaii Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760 in Hawaii. Listen, this is one of those shows where I just like to kind of just like put out the topic and just like lean back and we listen to the crew. But we have a hell of a crew today. We got John Browner, we got Tim, we got Beav, we got Grant, we got the full crew. But like we got a crew that knows this topics, the two topics. Really, I got to be honest. Like normally, Grant and I want to put out like 3, 4, 5. This is a two-topic show. I'm going to lead with LeBron just because it is LeBron and the Lakers. But listen, the Kawhi news is like equally as big, if not just as big. So let's lead with this. The story going into the offseason, at least for the Lakers, was, is LeBron going to come back? I mean, there was a feeling that at the very least LeBron was going to play basketball this upcoming season. If he did, where was he going to go? I always thought that there was a better than 50-50 chance he would come back to the Lakers. It's Los Angeles. This is his home. I thought he came here to retire. I did not think, by the way, when he signed here in 2018, that he'd be playing past 8 seasons. I didn't even think he'd be playing 8 seasons. So the fact that he's here, listen, this was as like this was not like an ugly divorce, by the way. Like I was there, we talked about this on the show. I was there when Shaq left the Lakers. I was there. I'm trying to think of some other ones. You know, unfortunately, the final years of Kobe just weren't great. This was pretty cordial in the big scheme of things. You know, the Lakers thank LeBron for his time. LeBron thanked the Lakers for his time, and we'll see where he goes. I do want to ask the crew this. Again, we talked about the potential for him going to the Warriors. Again, the Warriors thing sounded intriguing because of Anthony Davis. Now that the Washington Wizards, maybe they're negotiating publicly, are saying we're not interested in trading Anthony Davis. We'll see what that how that all plays out. John Browner, I'm going to go to you first, and then I want to get the crew's thoughts. Again, you were the first one to kind of say, listen, I think he's gone. I think he's going to the Warriors. I think he's chasing happiness. At least that's what his camp is saying. Your thoughts on LeBron James officially leaving the Los Angeles Lakers?
This was a very easy call. I knew the second that they signed Austin Reaves before they signed LeBron James, it was curtains for that. This wasn't even hard to figure out. LeBron James has been treated in a particular way his entire career. And until you outplay him on the court, you need to respect him in the front office. And Austin Reaves didn't outplay him in that round against Oklahoma City. And so when it came time to look forward to the future, and they cut that check for Austin Reaves before they cut a check for LeBron James, it was over. It was over then. Now, I will say this. I'll give the Lakers new ownership all the flowers for handling this like an A1 organization. I'm glad Jeannie Buss wasn't anywhere near this because this would have been absolutely ugly. This would have looked like a marriage with a very nasty divorce. And I'm not – and there will be stories that come out because she's already leaking things here and there. Because you can tell where the leaks are coming from and who they came from. And you don't have to be that in tune with the local sports writers or the national guys to kind of hear the story and go, I can't think I know where that came from. So kudos to the Lakers and Mark Walters and the new ownership for doing this professionally, letting LeBron and his camp appear as if they were in charge. Nothing personal. You guys have the lead on this. And, you know, we're going to keep doing our business, but we're going to allow you to announce the separation on your terms. But you got to get out of here. And that was that. And so at the end of the day, this was the best thing that could happen for both these teams. LeBron and his camp get to go to a place where they can go after a championship, which I believe the best opportunity is in Golden State. The Los Angeles Lakers need to get to turn the page on the albatross that is clutch, that is the oxygen sucker, that is LeBron James. As great as LeBron James was for Los Angeles and the spotlight that he put on the team, you have to do everything his way. And when it stopped being that way, he took his ball, and now he's going to go somewhere else. So I saw this coming, and I was happy to tell people. I just hope people understood and listened.
Everybody is talking about this respect thing with LeBron James, and did Los Angeles love LeBron enough? Did LeBron
Wait,
love
the city
Los
or
Angeles?
the organization? The city or the organization?
The organization, it was like a marriage that was kind of based on, it was almost like a male ordered bride marriage. Like
yes.
they shook hands, they agreed to like each other in public. They walk on the red carpet together, but there was no lovemaking going on between the Lakers
Separate
and
room.
LeBron James. But the question I have is about this: what has LeBron ever done to show that he loved Los Angeles? I heard someone say today that he didn't even have an opening press conference when he arrived here. He never talked to the media. The only two people he ever talked to in the media one-on-one was, of course, my former colleagues at Spectrum Sportsnet and Jim Hill. That's it. Steph Curry has talked to multiple reporters from Cron to CBS, everywhere in San Francisco. He made himself a part of the community. Now, LeBron made himself a part of the Hollywood community, of course, but in terms of, I never saw him doing outreach like he does in Akron. It was never part of the Los Angeles lexicon like Kobe did. Kobe would show up at those homeless walks. Kobe was a fabric of Los Angeles, and LeBron isn't. But I'm not going to bash LeBron and say he's a bad guy. He's a great guy, a great role model for sports and basketball. But as an Angelino, he was never accepted.
And in all fairness to LeBron, and real quick, in all fairness, he didn't do a press conference for the Cavs when he went back to the Cavs,
okay,
he didn't do a press conference then either. He did that. He did that coming home Sports Illustrated thing. So so we're all fair.
Okay, but yeah, I'm just saying the love was there for maybe 6 months when Kobe passed until they won the championship in 2020, and that is also when he came up with the Taco Tuesday stuff. Since then, that's all. That was it. That was the whole relationship. Ever since then, we respect you because you're the king and everything you've done and all these milestones. You brought spotlight to the city, but there was never a hug between the Laker fans and LeBron James.
Well, you don't think that there was when Kobe passed away and he did all that stuff?
No, that 6 month period.
Okay.
That 6 month period that was LeBron.
Well, let me just touch on this again. I mean, COVID was COVID, and
yes.
what COVID did was deprive LeBron of that moment. Because here's the thing, and I've talked to multiple people about this, and I'm surprised the documentary has not come out. The people who were in the bubble for 100 days to this day have PTSD. Like at some point in time, the documentary will come out. But like, I'm like, why hasn't someone like doc about how hard that championship was? Because it definitely like upsets me when everyone says that's a bubble title. Like if you talk to anyone who went through that, you know what, for 100 days, not only was that the hardest championship to win, like it messed up the teams the following year. No one who made it to the conference finals like even won a playoff game like after the first round of like they were just screwed. So what I'm trying to say was when LeBron came to the Lakers, there was already that LeBron v Kobe rivalry. It was made up. Again, you had those commercials back in the day, if you remember, from Nike. They never met in the finals, but there was they really tried to manufacture a Bird versus Magic rivalry between Kobe and LeBron. It never existed in the finals or in the postseason, right? But so there was this feeling when LeBron came over, like, no, like we're Team Kobe, not Team LeBron. So they never embraced them. Remember, the murals went up. People did the face the murals. Like the right after Kobe passed, and LeBron goes out there on center court and rips up his speech and gives a heartfelt speech. I said he just became a Laker. And literally, COVID happens right after that. And again, there's bigger issues with COVID, but like you win a championship, you don't have the parade, you don't have the rally, you don't have anything. What upsets me most, I get when like other fan base want to bash that title, but when I hear Laker fans want to bash that title, I'm like, what are you even talking about? Like I remember that final weekend before like everything shut down. And they beat the Bucks and they beat the Clippers. I'm like, this team's like no one's gonna beat this team, and no one beat them in the bubble, you know. But what that moment deprived him of was becoming a Laker. He never got that.
Yes.
I wouldn't even say deprived him of being a Laker. Like we got to really like break this down to its most simplest form. The time of LeBron being a Laker is about getting your money. If you look, he has Space Jam come out. He has all these other endorsements. When you come to Los Angeles, you know it's Hollywood, and you're going to get your money in Hollywood. You're going to be on TV. You're going to be doing movies. You're going to be doing all these things. LeBron had his time in Miami when he was young with D Wade and Chris Bosh, and they was flying in the air. He went back to Cleveland, said, "This is for you." And when he started his rookie year, he started off grinding it out. So this is the time for him to be selfish within himself. We can look at COVID and say, yes, COVID deprived a lot of people, right? But once COVID was over, I think another slap to the face of his Lakers stand was the Luka trade. I think the Luka trade was a bombshell to him because if you look, it's reporting now that he wants AD with him in Golden State. So who was pulling the strings for AD to get sent out? So it's like either you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. But LeBron's stint overall can say it drained the media. You can say it drained the fans because the fans didn't really reap the benefits of I would say a young prime LeBron. He was aging as he was on the Lakers. It was like a slow downhill age. Every time you looked up, the beard was getting more gray. The hairline was disappearing more. So it was like, what version of LeBron am I getting? So it was more of a get your money thing. He even got his son drafted. His son is getting his money. So now you got to think about it. He was more focused on making sure that his camp was taken care of with the Lakers in Los Angeles, California than anybody else.
And another thing.
Hold on, before this escapes me.
Good album back there, Beav. By the way, Reasonable Doubt. Good choice.
Hey, I'm ready for the show, baby.
Can't knock the hustle, man. All right, go ahead, Joe.
Raj, one day we gonna do a 1v1 knockout drag out about the bubble. Okay.
Wait, what?
We're going to do a knockdown drag out about the bubble because people who tell me how hard the bubble was, it's exposing them.
John, I'm talking about the players. The players said that. Like, by the way, I will fully admit, you and I were both not in the bubble. We were on the mightier 1090 when the bubble was happening. So I can only go off what the players are saying. Shout out the mightier 1090. I can only. So again, listen, I have a hard time debating that because I'm going to say, like, this is what this guy said. And I would have gone stir crazy being in a bubble or whatever for like 100 days. So, like, I didn't play the game at the level you did. But what I'm saying is, like, these guys who did play there, who were there, it messed them up. And you look at the teams that got to the conference finals, like those 4 teams, look at what they did the following year. They didn't do nothing.
I'll say this because today's conversation is about something else. But one day we'll have this out.
Okay.
Say it.
All this showed you was who actually loves basketball. That's what the bubble showed you. The bubble showed you LeBron James and the Lakers truly loved basketball. They loved the profession of it. The Miami Heat truly loved basketball. Yeah. The Denver Nuggets and that team at the time that was currently constructed, they actually loved the game of basketball and treated it with respect. Everybody else, they fugazi. They played themselves.
So what's your point, John? Like that the bubble title means more or less? Saying like what is the point?
Less.
It's good for the fans.
To me, the larger point about LeBron post 2020 to 2026 was that as much as you want to talk about his legacy as a Laker, they didn't win a championship, but his basketball was always top tier. Whenever he was on the court, the basketball was at a championship level. That's LeBron James. He's one of the top 2 players of all time. But the problem was, when did you ever see him anywhere in Los Angeles away from Crypto.com Arena? And that's why people in Los Angeles never banged with him.
Let me ask you a question.
I'll say this. Even the day they had the Kobe statue unveiling, I was in the building when LeBron was shooting his normal warm-ups. Now, I'm not knocking him for not changing his routine, but he wasn't even at the unveiling of the Kobe statue. So you can't. So that's another say. Like, if you want to show your warmth to the city, you show your warmth to the celebration of the hero that is Kobe Bryant.
Okay, so let me ask everybody a question, and I would like to get everyone's answer to this. Was it a success or was it a failure? Because it sounds like, to some of us, it was a failure.
Well, his tenure?
LeBron's tenure in a Laker uniform.
Wait, can I
What-
start? I'm going to start, and I definitely want to get the crew started. If you think it's a failure, then you do not remember the previous 5 seasons. And I say that because the Lakers were not just a below 500 team. They were one of the 5 worst teams in the league. They drafted good players, and they drafted well enough to get an AD. And by the way, if you're saying that you hated that trade, they parlayed AD at his peak to get a top 5 player in his prime. So I'm just saying like that. Both those trades worked out. But really quick, you do these moves to win a championship. And by the way, wouldn't it have been great if the Lakers won multiple? But who the hell has won multiple championships from 2019 and now? No one. Like literally no one. So I'm just saying, you do that trade. You were one of the 5 worst teams in the league every single year. Every year, John Brenner, they had a top 5 pick. You make that trade, you get AD, you win a championship, you go to 2 conference finals. Listen, is it a success in terms of Kobe, Shaq, Magic? No. But we are in a time period where we've had a different championship every year since 2019.
I'll say that the LeBron James experiment, I'm not even going to call it a tender, an experiment, was successful on the court, unsuccessful off the court. And what I mean by that is
That's fair.
He was not relatable to the fans. Like, yeah, we have all these people that will love and die for Kobe Bryant, but when it came to LeBron James, the fans were so disengaged because of the antics that LeBron James carried. And I'm not throwing dirt on his legacy, but we know how LeBron James do, and those antics kind of disengage true Laker fans. You would go to the Lakers arena, and they were engaged for the Lakers winning, but they really wasn't engaged for LeBron James. They was engaged because it's purple and gold, and this is what the city reigns supreme. Now, on the court, did he give him a championship? That's the main goal that LeBron James was here for. Did he get multiple? No. But he got them another ring. If you get an organization another ring, you have a successful time there. Now, on the back end, everything started to unravel. If it wasn't him taking time off the court, if it him wasn't trying to get his son drafted to the Lakers, if it wasn't him sitting in the stands with Jeannie and the crew over here, looked like he was on vacation.
Like he was in a throuple.
I can go down a list of moments in which LeBron was like, you looking at him like, man, I'm tired of him already. So that's where I'll say it's a two-way street. It was successful on the court, but it was not successful off the court.
And I'll just stick with the basketball of it. Like, you know, LeBron, I spent the first like 15 minutes of the show talking about how he didn't love Los Angeles, but he is one of the greatest players of all time. And what he did on the court, I give it a solid push because he rescued the Lakers from the doldrums of the ball era, whatever, like, you know, the Julius Randle era. And then, in terms of what the Lakers are and what superstars do for the Lakers, he didn't fail, but he didn't match up to what a Kareem did. He didn't match up to a Magic. He didn't match up to Kobe. He didn't match up to Shaq. So he rescued the franchise from hell, but he didn't get them to the highest heights of the heavens.
Can I ask everybody something? How many championships did Jerry West win with the Lakers?
1.
Arash, he won 1. How many did he lose, Arash? Do you remember how many times Jerry West lost? Jerry West lost a lot. People in LA respect Jerry West like he's a part of the Magic and the Kareem and the Kobe. And he won 1 title and lost 8 billion of them.
Because he won 5 as a GM.
Not even that.
Okay.
Because of the trades that he made.
All right, so we're going to wait for LeBron to become a GM?
No. But he is a logo, though. One good crossover, they said, oh, my God. Like, I'm not disrespecting Jerry West. I'm just saying, like, if we're going to compare titles and, like, oh, this guy won, so he's a legend in L.A., like, they both won 1 title as a player in Los Angeles, and Jerry West blew a lot of those series back in the 60s. But, again, that's another point. I think it was a major success because, like Arash said, leading up to that 2018 offseason where they got LeBron James, it was like they couldn't get anybody. They were trying to recruit Klay Thompson. They were trying to recruit
LaMarcus Aldridge.
LaMarcus Aldridge. They were getting nobody. They were not able to get even LaMarcus Aldridge. And LeBron went there and he said, listen, I understand the business venture. Whenever you're in Los Angeles and a superstar comes to Los Angeles, the business comes with you. It's not like, oh, I'm going to do if you're a superstar in LA, like look at Luka since he got to LA. There's been a lot. I've seen his face in a lot more places than I did in Dallas. And I know it's just because I live here, but you've seen a lot more brand marketing from Jordan and all that stuff. So it comes with it. But LeBron did want to win here. Like it's not like he went out and got Anthony Davis to be his business partner. He went out because he knew that duo could win a title, and they did. And I will say this about the bubble. I think the bubble does have its caveats, but the Lakers were the best team in the league before the bubble, and they were the best team in the league in the bubble. So this notion that it doesn't count because it was in the bubble was like the Lakers were kicking everyone's behind before the bubble.
And the big thing, and I will say this as a Laker and a Dodger fan, and again, I want both of them to count. I get those who say the World Series doesn't, you can, one of the beauties of winning your division and being the number one seed in baseball is the grind of 162 game season. When you condense that to 50, I get it. They had played 70 freaking games. I mean, we've had a 50 game champion, we've had a 62 game champion. So they did play, the majority of of a season.
And the Bucks the next season played a 70-something game season too.
That one, and again, by the way,
it was at their home stadium, so I understand.
My hot take is when you look at the totality of like the league, that's the asterisk season because of the condensed. Bucks, Suns, Clippers would have won the title if Kawhi doesn't. And what happened was,
it was a crazy season because the Clippers were in the conference finals.
But you had a 72-day off season for the teams that were in the NBA. Like the Lakers and the Heat had no chance. The Nuggets and the Celtics had basically like if you got to the conference finals that year, you were just cooked. The worst thing was sorry. Yeah, John.
The LeBron James experiment was an overwhelming success.
There we go.
Here's why. The Lakers fan base is one of the smartest fan bases in the league. That's just my personal opinion. We can all agree to disagree. They knew this was fully transactional. They knew it. They knew this was business.
Yeah.
The Laker fan base knew this wasn't Kobe Bryant. They knew this wasn't Shaquille O'Neal coming from Orlando. Yeah. They knew this wasn't Kareem coming from Milwaukee. This was business. They knew it. He knew it. The front office knew it. And the fan base, the teammates knew it. And so everybody operated accordingly. They cheered him when he scored. Every milestone, they gave him his just due. But he was never going to be Magic Johnson. He was never going to be Kobe Bryant. God damn!
What was that?
You okay, Arash?
What just happened?
Were you laughing, Arash?
What was that?
Bro, you ain't
they were just celebrating that LeBron left?
Nah, they celebrate the World Cup.
Bro, I started taking companies.
Man, did Mexico win? What happened?
Yeah.
Mexico just
somebody up that thing in Arash's house.
Oh, this thing's falling off.
Yo!
Oh man!
Hey, they said, "Hey, Mexico doing good." They set them fireworks off.
Hey, bro!
They won 2-0. Shout out to Mexico.
Somebody went on the porch and let one off.
Let's use that to leave it there for now. When we come back, listen, I really want to get this Chris thoughts on Kawhi leaving. That's really why I'm here. Hopefully everything goes well outside. So when we come back, we'll talk about Kawhi, leaving the Clippers. When we come back right here on KIR at 670 AM in Southern California, 98.5 The Bet in Las Vegas, and the Hawaii Sports Radio Network.
All right, we are back, Arash. Go ahead.
All right, yeah. Listen, crazy stuff happening. Crazy stuff happening on the streets.
What actually happened? I'm curious.
I'm assuming it was a firework, but I have no idea.
That is insane.
Yeah, right.
John, they really didn't want you to talk about that,
bruh.
There's a lot of stuff happening here.
They said enough.
Clutch sent the guns out for you.
Exactly. We don't want you talking about that.
It is a success. Bam!
Out there in the 21 gun salute.
Man. All right. Obviously, two big major pieces of news happening. LeBron informing the Lakers that he's moved on, but also the Clippers officially trading Kawhi Leonard. When I think back to the summer of 2019, July, at some point, Grant's going to share with you the video he had the night that Kawhi and Paul George joined the Clippers. Paul George obviously left, and now Kawhi is gone. We could talk about Kawhi going to the Toronto Raptors and what that means. But obviously, I think the Clippers really got the most they possibly could. Gonna ask Grant first, again, as someone who covers the Clippers, covered Kawhi on a daily basis in the locker room. Grant, your thoughts on the Clippers officially trading Kawhi Leonard?
Yeah, it was time. It was time for the Clippers to move on. A lot of people have pushed back on that narrative just because of how good he was, but like I've said multiple times, actions speak louder than words, and all of the Clippers' actions have pointed to a new era, a new type of direction for this franchise for the first time in, I would say, 7 years. So, again, it seemed like this was the only team that was going to give Kawhi Leonard that extension that he coveted, the 2 for $120, which is going to happen here soon at some point. I don't know when in the offseason, but it's going to happen. But the Clippers, I remember I said this, I think I said this last night, is that the reason there was a holdup was because the Clippers didn't really like the package that the Raptors were going for. Look there's another one. Another firework.
I am so sorry. I'm going to mute myself. This is terrible. Sorry.
No,
you're all good. You're all good, man. Let him air it out. Anyway, see, every time I mention Kawhi or something, it's going to go off. So anyways.
America 250, baby.
That's right. You're warming up.
People are really loading up for July 4th. But anyways, it seems like we're going to have some fireworks this free agency. I'll see myself out. Anyways, so the Clippers were initially getting 1 first-round pick, right? And that was the holdup. They pushed now to get 2 unprotected first-round picks in 2031 and 2033. So these are the most, I guess, the most elite of the picks that Toronto had to offer, because it's way down the road when they'll probably be bad. The 1 pick swap is 2027, so that one's probably going to be in the 20s somewhere. So that one's really not going to be amazing. But again, it's another first-round pick. And then you get 2 second-round picks. The players, I will say this, like, everyone's getting caught up of the play. Oh, like, Brandon Ingram isn't that good. Like, Grady Dick, who cares about him? The Clippers, I don't even think, cared about getting back these players. They cared more about the compensation for draft capital, because the knock on the Clippers, like, since they traded away that their whole entire existence for Paul George back in 2019 was that they didn't have picks. This team doesn't have picks. OKC has all your picks. You don't have anybody. You can't rebuild because you don't have your picks. Now the Clippers have, I think, 5 or 6 first rounders until 2033, and maybe even more than that. They have a ton of second round picks if they want to make smaller deals. And their cap space, it didn't change a lot because of this Kawhi Leonard deal, but it was something where it freed up some space for them, not just now, but in the future, because if they were to sign him to an extension, he would have been on the book. So this is just the Clippers signaling like, hey, it's a new era. It's a different type of direction that this team is going, and everything that they've done up until this point from February 1st till now has signaled this. And it just happened to be that the Toronto Raptors were the team to say, hey, we're going to take a second chance on this guy. And it's crazy because the Raptors got a better deal this time than they did the first time for a 29 or 28-year-old Kawhi Leonard, which is crazy, even though Kawhi did have a better offensive season this past season. But if we're looking at the Clippers' Kawhi Leonard tenure, it was a failure. It was. And the Clippers swung and they missed very badly. And I guarantee you guys, they're going to try to do something again, because that's just what the Clippers and this front office does. They try to get big names. They try to get superstars. They don't like to rebuild. And yeah, the Paul George and Kawhi Leonard era is over. The experiment is over. And it was a fail, much like we were talking about the Lakers, where it was a success. But I think the Clippers are still going to try to go get superstars with this massive collection of picks that they now have. But at least now, they at least have set themselves up nicely for the next 4 or 5 years at least.
Grant, I disagree with you about it being a failure. And I'm going to say this.
I'd love to hear it.
In the world of basketball at large, it's a failure. In the world of the Clippers, it's a grand success. They went to the Western Conference Finals, something they have never, ever done in their tenure, on the backs of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. Yes, they didn't reach the finals. Yes, they didn't win a championship. But to reach your highest heights that you've ever reached as a franchise, that is a success. But in terms of the NBA world, it's a failure. But in terms of Clippers world, not to be funny, but I'm dead serious, it was a success. They were more than relevant. They were in conversation for championships.
Because Tim, like when they acquired those two, what was the goal?
Multiple championships.
Thank you. And they failed to do that. They failed to even get to one. So that's why I say it's a failure. I understand you but in terms of like they got further than they ever have. Okay.
Like historically, it's the best they've ever done. They were better even than Lob City.
You can't look at it in regards to the historical realm. You got to really look at it as in a basketball sense. You had Kawhi, right? Kawhi was just coming off NBA championship. His goal was to bring the city a championship, not just the city, but the Los Angeles Clippers a championship. During the negotiations, he negotiated that he wanted another star. And for everyone out there that said they would have made this trade, Paul George was in a good space in OKC during that time, which demanded the haul that they had to send out to go get him. But in the long scheme of things, it was a failure. You have players out every other week, right? You're moving different pieces. You bring in Westbrook, he wasn't the guy. You bring in this person, he wasn't the guy. You're doing all these shuffling of chairs. You had an actual opportunity in the bubble. We going back to the bubble again, because I would have took that championship and celebrated on Century and Prairie by myself. If we would have won that, you would have been outside in regards to what COVID rules and regulations was going on, because that would have been the first championship. They didn't succeed. You get to the Western Conference, right? Guess who's not there? Kawhi's not there. This is Paul George and Pat Bev. Kawhi's not even there. And I'm not knocking him for his injuries, but that was a failure. And just to think that now the Clippers hold, I would say, roughly 9 first-round picks and 6 second-round picks through 2023, that's something to hold on to. In regards to now you're moving things out that you're lost. I talked about this, right? The Clippers do not own their 2027 draft pick. Yes, I might have a pick that's in the 20s, but I have a 2027 draft pick to replace by the Raptors. I got other years I can use that I've been giving away that's been building the OKC up from Jalen Williams to SGA and all these other picks they've been picking up from my picks. So you got to figure it out.
Beav, I feel like you are proving my point why this was a success. To get that type of haul, including Brandon Ingram, for a broke down superstar with no knees, who did take you to the Western Conference Finals, that counts as a success because you're still building toward the future.
It's a success because now I'm getting rid of the disaster that was taking place during their tender. I'm getting rid of the trash
with value. You're not just a dump.
I'm gonna take that word back. Not trash. I'm getting rid of something and recycling it back to be in my favor. I'm recycling right now. That's all I'm doing. I'm taking a 35-year-old and flipping him. And Lawrence Frank is still on the hook for this. He's still on the hook for this.
Okay, here we go.
I'm looking at John. Right. John's ready to. What do you think?
I had to write this down so I didn't forget it. Okay.
Here we go. Cook.
As a slogan goes, winter is coming. You haven't seen failure yet, okay? Lawrence Frank is Joffrey. Remember in King of Thrones, the little boy became king, and he was awful, and he just kept doing like weird stuff. You're like, bro, what you doing? You tweaking? You off? You what's wrong with you, little boy? I'm asking for Lawrence Frank. What's wrong with you, little boy? What you doing? None of this makes any sense. None of it makes sense. I said yesterday, what's happening with LeBron and Golden State, none of it makes sense unless it all makes sense.
Yeah.
LeBron not meeting with the Lakers, Draymond opting out. None of this made sense unless it all makes sense. You can see it. What the Clippers are doing is Lawrence Frank is what they call CYA. Can't say it, but we'll talk about it in an extra period. These draft picks give Lawrence Frank 4-5 more years to Fugazi, y'all. I don't trust Lawrence Frank to make these picks. I don't trust the person who's responsible for what happens next. I don't trust the person that the Clipper fans have to trust to make the decisions on who goes forward and in what positions with this organization. And to me, the greatest failure still sits in the same seat. What happened with Kawhi's knees is a physical thing. That could happen.
Exactly.
That could happen with Darius Garland's toe. See what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, the person who has to make the decisions about what you do with all those draft picks, so they turn into Chet Holmgren, so they turn into Jalen Williams, so they turn into A.J. Mitchell. The person who has to make those decisions for you is a person who, in my opinion, has already dropped the ball to start the game. Now,
so when would you have cut ties with Lawrence Frank? And at what point would you have shut it down?
The second the season's over, and we are having internal conversations about aspiration, we're having internal conversations about what happens next with this organization. The 5th pick falls into my lap in one of the greatest generational drafts, and when it's all said and done, we may have ever seen. And we've got the 5th pick, and we've got to take the best player that we feel is available, and they might have. I don't want to keep bashing Keegan Wild as if he can't play. The kid's in the position he's in because he can play. But can he play like the people picked after him is where I have the issue with. My talent evaluation.
Are you saying you would have got rid of Frank this offseason?
With the second we realize, okay, Kawhi Leonard wants $60 million a year. We're not doing that. At that point, I need another decision maker because who went and got him in the first place? Even though it was the right decision to get Paul George at the time, it failed. So at some point, the payment for the failure has to come due. And that all lies at the desk of Lawrence Frank. And the fact that he's still operating and doing the job and lying, again, we talked about this previously, lying to me during the press conference and telling me, oh, Kawhi had a hand in a say in who we took with the 5th pick. What do you mean? You just traded him to Toronto. That doesn't make any sense. So now either you're incompetent or you're lying to me. Either you're flying by the seat of your pants with no real plan or you're lying to me because you knew whenever they knew they weren't re-signing him to $60 million a year, that would have been Lawrence Frank's last decision for me.
I think this happened pretty quickly. Beav. I think like I don't know what, because like I will tell you this from everyone that I talked to right after the season, like at the end of the season, we're all like, oh yeah, like Kawhi's probably going to be back on a smaller extension, like 20 for 80.
Stop it.
2 for 80. Okay. Excuse me. No, okay. I'm being serious. That was the internal conversations. No. I'm not lying to you.
That's serious, John. That's serious, John.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Y'all know he not taking that.
We knew that, but
he took less than the max when he took that 3 or whatever one. Like when Paul George said, "Give me what Kawhi got," he didn't take a max there. He actually took less off.
The idea was that team had an opportunity to win a championship, so taking less then, the tiny bit less, made sense. Taking less now made no sense. And if you were in that organization, and I'm not calling you a liar, I'm not doing that, just so we understand each other. if you're in that organization and you thought that he was going to take less than the max now, at this point, then you're fired.
John, I will say this though. It wasn't about, and let's use common sense here. Let's just use real logical thinking, right? It was no way that Kawhi was going to take anything less. He's turning 35. It's the same scenario as James Harden. This is your last big contract, right? And I'm going to take it a step further to shut down any other teams I was thinking. Kawhi movement, since he's been in the league, he likes to move to places he's familiar with, right? He was with the San Antonio Spurs. Yes, he was thrown to Toronto. But he's a California kid, so he's going to pick either the Lakers or the Clippers. If I'm going to get shipped back somewhere, I'm not going to Detroit. I'm not going to Minnesota. I'm going back to a city where I'm beloved. Either it's going to be San Antonio or it's going to be where I won a championship, and he won a championship with the Toronto Raptors. That's what made that transition so easy. So everyone that's out there thinking, why did he pick the Raptors? I just won a championship there. I can walk in Toronto to 6 right now and be loved like Iceman, like Drake himself. So that's where that argument is being looked at. But yes, if we're using common sense here, you have Darius Garland. You have a 5th round pick. I'm not staying around for a rebuild. I'm not staying here for that. If you're a team in the lottery, you have no way to contend. Giannis is hurt. We don't have a center, right? We don't even know we're going to keep Ben. I'm not staying here for that. You already showed you wasn't going to extend James Harden. The news was already put out that James Harden and Kawhi Leonard contract was both supposed to end at the same time. Show me where in your mind that them two is supposed to stay here in the long run. Nobody can show you that. So it was written already on the wall. So that's why it doesn't surprise me. But in the long scheme of things, right, we got to really think. And I want to go back to what you said earlier about Lawrence Frank. I would have fired him during the Denver Nuggets series when they lost that series. I would have fired him then because
in the bubble.
No, not the bubble. When we had to go back to Denver and they blew off that lead last year, he would have been gone. That would have been a clear house moment right then and there. But the thing was, he couldn't clear house until he get off the hook with OKC. That's the whole thing of this mastermind plan. Is I have to hold on to this because you got to get me out of what you trading me into. That's the whole scheme of it. Let's just put common sense where common sense is. He's now off the hook.
Because John, you said that 2 years ago they were in a contention window. So Lawrence Frank must have put together a pretty good team for them to be in a contention window, no?
Kawhi thought that. The player thought that. That's why he accepted less. That's
Would you say that they were though? Like if everyone was healthy, they could have been they could have contended for a title.
Yeah, I believe with a healthy Kawhi, you are a contender no matter what. Yes.
Okay.
And Lawrence Frank built the roster to do that. So, but this is the caveat of this new era that's taking place. I call it the youth movement, right? Grant been yelling at me about the youth all the time. I say it's the youth movement. Lawrence Frank is now on the hook, not for the future. He's on the hook for the development of Keaton Wagler. And I'm not going to knock the young man because he just got here. We have to see if he turns out to be the guy or the point guard of the future. I'm gonna just be honest. I don't even think Garland is the guard of the future because you can't. Go ahead.
Well, you're speaking to the wrong person.
How long development take?
Development
pitches?
No, not pictures. I would say it takes about 2 to 3 years.
So how long? I tell you, he gonna wait these picks out.
You said
3-4 years. 3-4 years.
No. Yeah, I'm not giving them the 4. I'm not even giving them the extra year. That's where we differ. I'm giving them a hot 2, and I'm barely giving them 3. Because if Keaton Wagler's not starting by year 2, go home. I appreciate your services.
Okay, and because I didn't get Grant's opinion on this, and I'll share this with the public, the conversation we had before, and maybe guys can reiterate what they said. If you don't start Wagler day one, what are we doing? I don't care who's on the roster anymore. Now that you got rid of the person who could have taken you somewhere with Wagler coming off the bench and just kind of feeling his way until he's ready. Dylan Harper in the situation. Now that that's now gone, what are you doing if he's not the starter? I don't care who's on it. He's your most important franchise player now, going forward for the foreseeable future. If he's not your starter at the 2 or at the point, what are you doing?
Yeah, well, he'll be the 2. Yeah, he'll be the 2.
Please don't.
And you make a great point. Like, now that Kawhi Leonard is gone, like, you're not going to – well, first of all, they weren't winning a title with Kawhi next year. But now that Kawhi's gone, you can fully lean into, okay, we're going to go young and let's just see what happens. Let's just see what – because I will say this. When they drafted Shea, he didn't start – Doc Rivers didn't start him immediately either. It took him about a month for him to be like, oh, actually, Shea's actually really good. We should start him. So I again, maybe it's like that philosophy. I don't know why, but I would have started Shea too. But maybe they're like, oh, hey, Rook, you got to prove yourself. We got this guy that's, a defensive stalwart and Chris Dunn. Like, maybe we want, But that was with a Kawhi team that like wanted to contend for a championship. Now you're waiting for, like you're playing for the future right now. You need to see what you have. And if you're not starting Keaton Wagler next to Darius Garland, when you specifically said that that's what you wanted to see, I don't know what we're doing here. I really don't.
Do not make Keaton a 3-and-D type of person because I'm telling you right now.
No, he won't be.
As a Clipper fan, we won't be, but you know how Lawrence Franks is. As a Clipper fan and as a person that report on the Clippers, if you do not have the ball in Keaton Wagler's hand, what are you doing? What is the draft pick? Because that's how he became the star that he was for Illinois. He had the ball in his hand. He was able to develop. If you don't give him the ball in his hands, saying it's Garland should be running it, you are going to set yourself up for the most epic fail of the new season.
And 2.
Well,
go ahead.
Well, we were talking about Lawrence Frank, like as if Lawrence Frank is going to tell Ty Lue what to do.
I was going to say that too. Tim.
Yeah, like it's going to be Ty Lue's decision, and he knows ball. Like I would trust Ty Lue making a decision who's going to start on the court as opposed to Lawrence Frank. So I think we'll find out at camp what Ty Lue's evaluation of the fifth pick is, and that's all that really matters.
What?
He's the head coach.
What you mean we gonna find? You mean to tell me Ty Lue had no say in this?
Oh, he did. They already said that Ty Lue had a big.
So
I think he's gonna play then.
You know what?
JVG.
You know who I
too.
trust? I trust Ty Lue. I have all the love for Ty Lue.
I trust Jeff Van Gundy.
I trust Brian Shaw.
Yes, good point.
I trust
that whole
B. Shaw.
coaching staff. There's legends on that coaching staff.
Hey, give him the B. Shaw. Let B. Shaw cook. Let's do it that way.
Y'all naming all people who I love as NBA personnel. I love all those people y'all just said. But Lawrence Frank is in charge. He's a boss. Lawrence Frank is their boss. Of all those smart men, the dumbest guy is in charge. Now, does that make sense? No, but that's where we at. And so if I'm a Clipper fan, and I'm trying to be, but y'all punching me in the face every time I try to look in the window. If this is the situation, I need Keaton Wagler with the ball. No, I don't give a damn what happens with the season. If he turns out to be Dylan Harper, then baby, we cooking. Let's go. But if he doesn't, we need to know.
Yes.
We need to know.
Yes.
And two, you'll be able to tell whether he can play or not. Ty Lue, Brian Shaw, Jeff Van Gundy, you'll know. You will know by Christmas whether this kid can play or not. It's not going to take that long. I don't think he's Anthony Bennett, but we'll know whether or not this kid is going to be the franchise player that they drafted him to be at the position that they did. Because I can tell you right now in Sacramento, he cooking. Mikael Brown in Brooklyn, he finna be cooking. Keith Fleming, he finna be cooking too.
The computer agrees with you, man.
Yes.
Yeah, thumbs up. So we're on the same page for once. This could be in this computer.
But
so,
would you say that like the Nets? I guess now you could say like the Nets, the Kings, like that group of teams, they're all in the same kind of tier now, where they're like trying to.
The
figure
Nets
out
aren't
what
going
they are.
anywhere.
Yeah.
That's disrespectful to the Clippers to say that the Nets are going to be in purgatory hell for the
So
next
the Clippers.
10
Hold
seasons.
on a minute, but the like now you can actually say that the
Purgatory?
Clippers are in a rebuild. Like it's not.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
But it's
God.
not like it's not like they're bereft of talent. They have talent on the
yeah,
team.
no, I'm not.
You
I'm
know
not
what
saying
I'm
that.
saying?
Okay, they're the best of that
The
group.
Nets are better. The Nets are better.
Yeah,
What are
I'm
you
just
talking
saying.
about? The Nets are better.
And
Who
I'm
owned the
Oh my
Clippers?
gosh, man!
Who owned the
Don't
Clippers
do
better
this
than
now.
Julius Randle?
We did this with the Kings, and now we're gonna do it.
I'm asking you a question. Can you answer my question?
Yes, I can.
Brandon Ingram? Brandon Ingram?
Yeah, thank you, Brandon Ingram.
Brandon Ingram.
Brandon Ingram was an
Stop it.
all-star this year, John. I don't like him
Come
either.
on, man.
Hey, look, gotcha.
Boy,
Arash
you're
is trying
muted.
to. Arash
Arash,
is
they-
muted.
Sorry,
Fireworks
I
and then mute.
I didn't want you guys to hear the fireworks that have continued here. All right, listen. If you want to hear more about Kawhi, join us on the post show. That's it for terrestrial radio. Have a amazing night, day, whatever, and we'll be back again tomorrow.
We are cooking.
All right, we're back at the show really quick, and then I will let you guys cook. I mean, clearly a failure. Tim keeps bringing up the fact that they got to the conference finals. Kawhi goes down in Game 4 when they're down 2-1 in that series. Again, not his fault. I think that the Clippers win the title, perhaps the way he was playing.
Yeah.
But it was Paul George and Terrence Mann and that group that really kind of helped them get there.
Reggie.
But then from that point on, the conference final, missed the playoffs, first round exit, missed the playoffs. I mean, for God's sakes, I mean, that is just horrible.
Kind of sound like the LeBron era.
Not really. They got an NBA title. They got 2 conference finals. They had some things. Jesus, missed the playoffs, first round exit, missed the playoffs. I mean, that's horrible. But anyway.
The Clippers haven't gotten out of the first round since they went to the conference finals, guys. So
yeah,
it's not really great.
Failure. It's terrible.
It is, and you know what? Like they took a swing and they missed. Is what it is.
And the thing is, that's why now going forward, I keep saying, do not star chase. Like, what is star chase? Star chase is not showing you it's going to add up to anything good.
Yeah, I agree with John.
It depends on who it is. If you get Jalen Brown, chase that star.
I agree.
Yeah. No, but the thing is, you chase Jalen Brown. Who is the supporting cast?
Darius Garland.
Yeah, you have the support. You don't have to trade everybody.
No.
Keaton
and wait a second.
He ain't
Also,
no big body Brunson. He not Brunson.
We got to look at this.
Wait, we comparing everyone to Brunson? Is that what we're doing?
Because that's the best big body small guard we got available.
We got to look at the landscape.
We can't compare everyone to him.
We got to look at the landscape of the West. If you get Jalen Brown, you ain't winning nothing. So you might as well build well and grow the talent on your team until you're ready to compete. Because you can bring Jalen Brown right now here.
How long?
You're going to be a 5 seed.
How long are they going to have to build, Tim?
Thank you.
3 or 4 years.
4 years.
Bruh.
And then by the time they're like you built, you're still probably going to face prime Wemby.
It's going to be worse in 4 years.
You might as well get him now.
So if listen, here's my thing about
Jalen Brown's not going to beat Wemby now. I'm sorry.
You
didn't think Jalen Brunson
severely
would.
Underrating Jalen Brown, by the way.
He's not even going to beat the Houston Rockets. Like, let's stop playing right now. Like,
yeah.
Okay. All right. Hold on.
No, that was too much.
Wait a goddamn minute now. Okay.
The Lakers beat the Rockets without Luka and Reeves.
Yeah.
LeBron beat
the Rockets with a cane.
I'm just saying, Van Fleet back. That's all I'm saying. They got a point guard now. He back.
All I was saying is
they got Bogey too. The
star chasing portion of this conversation. If you could get Jalen Brown, because it sounds like what the Celtics want are draft picks, and if you now have an abundance of them, you can split the baby. You can give them some good ones, and you keep some good ones because you have enough of them now.
It makes sense. Okay.
You get Jalen Brown. You move out whatever you need financially. And now you are probably in a better position because Jalen Brown and Kawhi Leonard, statistically, right now they're kind of in the same neighborhood. Their houses are across the street from each other. Mm-hmm. And so now you're going with a healthier, younger version of the guy that everybody, Jalen Brown just took that team to the second best record in the Eastern Conference, was getting MVP votes. He's an NBA champion,
MVP.
And he's a finals MVP. If you can get that for just picks and some change to even out salary for financial,
and he lost to a mediocre Philadelphia Sixers basketball team.
Wait, say that last part.
And he lost to a mediocre Philadelphia 76ers basketball
that just
team.
got Dean Wade, by the way, Tim. Dean Wade, Philadelphia 76er.
Yeah,
but if you're going to get the second star, you have to get the first one. And to me, getting Jalen Brown, that's a 1A guy. That's a franchise cornerstone. That's a leader that you're getting. And if you talk about bringing people back to California, you're bringing another California boy back home. And so the idea to me, if you're going to do this, I wouldn't do this for anyone other than Jalen Brown that's available. I wouldn't have done this for Ja Morant. That's insanity. Like, there are a bunch of guys, I would have done this for LaMelo Ball. That's insanity. But you're doing it for a professional who carries himself like so.
That has won a title and knows how to win a title.
Right. Okay. And so to me, if you're going to chase the star, you do that, you get him at a point where he's not going to say, well, I'm not coming if you don't get X guy, or you get, because that's what Kawhi did. So now you sabotaging this situation. You're getting a guy who wants to come to your organization and prove he's the guy. He wants to look at Wemby and go, yeah, this is what I came for. He wants to look at OKC and go, this is what I came for. They built that off the back of a trade. So you mean to tell me if Lawrence Frank really wants to impress people, go do that. Go do that. Bring that back in the building.
I'll raise you one up on this one. Don't do it now. Don't do it now. Because you're doing it now, Boston is going to be asking for more because it's a hot topic. I'll wait till his market start dying down, and then I will make the trade. Because you walking in trading 4 first-round draft picks, it doesn't sit right with me. Let that whole situation get so disgruntled to where now they just want to move them. And when you get to that point, it makes it so much easier because now you have the upper hand. Well, I'll give you 2 first, maybe 2 seconds, and we can call it even. You get what I'm saying? Let that situation get more disgruntled and then make the call.
If you wait for it to get more disgruntled, there's a chance it could get worked out. The second he plays a basketball game, and this is the problem too, We're a long way from playing a basketball game. The second Jaylen Brown plays another basketball game, people go, damn, he really good. And then the numbers going to go back up. So it's important to get him now when there's no opportunity for him to get back around the team, get back around the guys, for people to say their apologies, and for them to work this out over a steak. I don't think it can be.
John, let me ask you something. If Sam Presti was the general manager of the Clippers instead of Lawrence Frank, would you suggest that they just build, or would you suggest that they trade for Jaylen Brown? Like, I feel like that's a big key to this. Why I want to build. I don't think you're going to win right now with Brown. So what would you do if Presti was instead of Lawrence Frank? What would you do?
I would do what Presti did when he was in Oklahoma City. I'd trade for Shea. I'd trade for Jaylen Brown. And then I'd build around him. I'd find my Chet Holmgren. I'd find my Jalen Williams.
Okay.
I do that because now I have the picks. And they're not my picks. They're somebody else's picks. And when they suck, and that person does become the second pick, and it does become Chet Holmgren, this process is easier because I already have someone to give the ball to.
The difference was that Shea was gotten on the cheap because nobody thought Shea was Shea. This is Jaylen Brown. Everybody thinks he's. You got to give up. You got to give up stuff.
This is on the cheap. If you ask me, this is on the cheap.
What do you think it'll take to get him, John?
Yes.
What do you think it'll take?
You got to give up half of those good picks you got from Toronto.
Yeah, because I'll say right now, they have 9 first-round picks. 6 of them are tradable. So
you're going to have to give up one of those, probably the 31 or the 33. You got to give up one of those. That's non-negotiable. You have to give up one of those, and you can pick and choose. You can fight over the other 2, but Boston's going to want 3 first-round picks.
I agree.
And so it depends on what their evaluation of Jaylen Brown. If it was me, I'd give the picks up because the picks are what until they turn into something. So if I'm Lawrence Frank, I know what Jaylen Brown is. This is the number 1 pick at some point in time. If I ever draft a guy as good as Jaylen Brown, I don't need to draft another player.
Hey, John, I roll with that philosophy, but I dislike it so much because you said, what are the picks? And then as soon as the draft hit, you be like, damn, there goes my pick. And the thing is, when you look at some of these players during the college stint, you be like, there goes the pick right there. But let's play devil's advocate and say they eventually trade for Jaylen Brown, right? One pick I would not give up is the Indiana Pacers pick.
The
2029. Do not give up the 2029 and do not give anything past 2033 or 31. Because the thing is, you're looking on the back end of Kawhi being done, and I don't want to give something that high. I give a 2027 pick swap. You could take that too. We could swap all day and all night. I'll give another swap up, but I can't give up those key hot spots.
It's so funny that you said not to give up the Pacers pick because that's the one I'm giving up.
Nah, no.
Because Tyrese Halliburton coming back, Pascal Siakam. Now you got Zubac. That again, the Pacers. It's highly questionable. The Pacers would be champs if Tyrese Halliburton didn't tear his Achilles.
I agree.
So now you bringing that guy back. You finna get that engine going again, and that thing was humming. So that's not going to be a lottery team for the next 3-4 years. So now that pick, that 27 pick, that right now looks delicious because it just translated into the number 5 pick. When Tyrese Halliburton gets back, they figure out how to use Zubac like they was using Miles Turner. Pascal Siakam turns back into the all-star and the defensive player that he was, and they mix some of these other pieces they got in there. They're going to be right back where they were. I don't know if they'll be in the NBA championship, but they're going to be in the top 5 in the Eastern Conference.
They're going to be good.
So, to me, that's the pick. I'm like, hey, sucker, take this. Because y'all think this one's going to be good. This one ain't going to be good. That 31 and that 33, that's the one I'm fighting about. I'm fighting about those two because those are so far away you don't know. And those are the ones that get you. Those are the ones that turn to hamstring pulls where they come out of nowhere. You're like, that's my pick.
Hamstring pull pick. I like that.
Yeah. That one hit you out of nowhere. Sniper got him. On the ground.
So here are the firsts and like how they look, like what they are. Shout out Hoopsite, my guy Sam from Hoopsite. So this is kind of where they fall. They have their own pick in 29. I mean, if it's top 3.
That's going to be worth something.
Yeah, then they have the 30 and 31, the 31, which is their own. They have the 32 and 33. They have a lot of picks, man. Like You know, you can, like John said, like you can throw even if you John, like even if you throw 4, like let's just say
Right.
Boston wants 4. Would you throw 4, Jaylen Brown?
I would, if I have the choice of the 4, like they get to
Okay.
pick one and I pick the other 3. Yes, I would do that.
Because
Yes.
they have 9. Like that's a lot.
So you would ship because they got the 27. So you would ship the 27th pick between LAC and Toronto, 29, and then I'll ship a
You're one of your
31,
own,
'cause I
like
got-
the 2030 or the 2031.
Right. I'm fighting over
both.
those. I'm fighting over those though.
I actually would send. I wouldn't send my own. I would actually send the my own to 2033.
Well, no, they would want the Toronto pick because that's
They're-
probably when they're
No,
gonna
no. I'm saying keep Toronto. Ship
Well, I
your
know,
own.
but I'm saying Boston would want one of
They're
those.
going to want
one of
that
the two.
Toronto- Yes.
I don't know. I like what you want, but you can't have it.
You can't have Jaylen
I
Brown.
like what you want, but you can't have it.
So I just think for the immediate future, because again, let's operate in positivity. Let's say Wagler is a 20 to 25 point scorer.
Sure.
And then you pair that with Jaylen Brown. So now that's 50 to 60 points right out the gate. Now you just building around that. One's on a rookie contract, one's on a max contract. So now you can squeeze another max contract in there somewhere, and you're still in Los Angeles. If the Lakers, and I meant to say this when we talked about this previously, how the Lakers always magically they get AD. Somehow
It's
magically they get
ridiculous
Pau
how they
Gasol.
magically get him.
Why can't that
Jerry
happen
West.
to the Clippers? Why not? all it is
Wish
savvy.
I had the answer.
But all it is savvy. All it is good relationships. So you telling me you're telling me Rob
Is that what we're
Pelinka's
calling
got
the
better
Luka trade?
relationships? If you're gonna tell me Rob Pelinka has better relationships than Lawrence Frank, then he's fired.
Now the Lakers
This ain't-
do.
This ain't it's thumbs up. See what I'm saying? So in addition to that, Bob Myers is out there somewhere available. Your owner got more money than anybody in
Isn't
the
he
world.
with Philly now, Tim? Isn't Bob Myers like doing Philly
a
stuff?
check will fix that. He ain't in charge. He's a consultant.
Oh,
no, we can't.
Tim, you're muted.
He quit. Oh, he quit. He's done.
He said, just take it from here, fellas.
But no, isn't the general manager out there is Nelson, right?
No, they hold on. They just got rid of Maury, and now I think Bob
It's
Myers
not
is helping.
I think it's Elton Brand has something to
No.
do with it.
No, Elton Brand stepped down. It's Nelson now, the point guard that used to be the point guard for the Magic.
Jameer Nelson.
Jameer Nelson.
Jameer Nelson. Jameer
Okay.
Nelson.
Shout out Jameer Nelson, man.
So if
Almost
I'm
beat
the
Lakers.
if I'm the Clippers, I call Bob Myers. I say, hey, large stack of money. How tall are you? 6'3", 6'4"? That's how tall the money is. Come, let's do this. Fix the issue. Fix the issue with a proven guy who's done it with picks, who's done it with an eye for talent, and who's done it when nobody thought that they could with the roster that they built. And then when they did that, they were able to get KD, and then greatness happened. You have to, if Lawrence Frank can't make those calls, if Lawrence Frank can't be that guy, then there are people out there who are. And that's my biggest gripe about this entire thing. We're trusting Lawrence Frank to do a job he has never shown us he's had the ability to do with the picks. So getting Paul George and getting Kawhi, that was great, but it didn't work. So you can't take credit for that being positive because at the end of the day, the experiment was a failure.
I'm back, y'all.
Hey-o.
I will, or John, look at it like this. Bring in somebody else that can, yeah, there we go. Bring in somebody else that can assist you in making these picks. So remember, before Jerry West passed, Jerry was there. I think he was there actually helping him filter out
Oh, he absolutely
certain
was.
things that was going on. So you need to bring in somebody to help you filter out the BS that's taking place so you can see who is who and what is what. Because
I agree to that.
If you look at some of Jerry West's picks, it's like, all right,
Shea.
Jerry West had an eye for talent. Shea right there.
Yeah.
It was right there.
Yep.
It was right there. So you need to bring in someone as a, what they call it,
Consultant.
Pedigree.
Consultant, yeah. Consultant, right? And that consultant can
Jackson.
eventually move you out your seat.
No,
no,
Phil Jackson's coach. That's it.
no.
All he can
I
do
was
is
waiting
coach.
for the response from that one.
Yeah. By the way,
My
I
Lord.
just wanted to clarify the Sixers situation. Bob Myers hired the new general manager.
Okay.
Who's the guy's name? I just typed it in. Mike Yancey. Jameer Nelson is the assistant GM.
Got it.
But he,
Arash.
but he there to assist. He there to assist, baby.
Arash, I was going to ask you because this news kind of happened like Tuesday night, but Luke Kennard is gone. It is rumored that Rui Hachimura is not going to return because the Lakers,
San Antonio Spurs, baby.
The Lakers, it seems like as soon as whatever happens, that they are going to get Mamukelashvili and Quentin Grimes as their signings. And I'm just curious as to what you think about the Lakers kind of, I don't know, moving away from, because it seems like Marcus Smart is gone. Luke Kennard is definitely gone. He just signed with Phoenix.
Right.
It seems like the Spurs and like some other teams are going to be all in on Rui and give him more money than what the Lakers can. So this team and these are all guys that kind of help them beat Houston. Just like, do you agree with it? Like, I know they're going all in on Kessler and like Duren. I know that's a fact, but they're losing a lot of these like role players. Maybe they had to, because I don't know. Just your thoughts.
I keep going back to what you guys are saying in terms of, again, you don't want to have any building moments when you have like Luka in his prime, but this is not a championship team, and so I think like these signings that they have don't move the needle. I think best case scenario, you're looking at a second round team. So we'll see what they do. But to John's point, this team always finds a way. The most shocked I've been in my life was the day they traded for Pau and then the night they traded for Luka. Like, both of those came out of nowhere. Both of those guys, Luka was top 5 player in the league. Pau at that point was top 10 player in the league. Wait, how does that just happen? Not that I'm expecting them to have something crazy like up their sleeve, but they always do.
But shouldn't they, Arash? Like, shouldn't this be the offseason where they go after somebody big?
I agree.
Like, keep sitting on their hands.
Yeah. Let's talk about Jalen Duren, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Man from
yes.
Detroit.
Isn't Kessler coming down the street?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Kessler is actually taking meetings in LA. He's sponsored by he's a CAA guy, so he's actually here taking the meetings. So the Lakers have that as a benefit. But I'm saying, like, this is year 1.5 of Luka. Like, you can't just keep saying like, oh well, next year we'll get you something. Oh well, next year we'll get you something. It's got to be now.
If you look at this though, out of all of them, I like Quentin Grimes because Quentin Grimes was a hooper when he's with the Knicks and with Philly. So him being like an option, him being an option for the Lakers, kind of.
I like both of these
Grimes
players.
is not going to move the needle in Los Angeles.
I like both of these players.
I will say this though, he's not going to move the needle for the Lakers because the Lakers culture overall is toxic. So it doesn't matter what you thought you were doing in another city, doing it for the city of Los Angeles, they're gonna make you feel about this big in regards to what you're doing.
No, they're gonna make you feel this big. And that's what gets to people.
Grimes was a role player for the Sixers. Like, he's not gonna come over.
A hooper.
Hold on, Tim. He was good.
A hooper.
No, he was. First of all, he was off the bench player and he didn't do anything.
That's what he's gonna do in LA.
Series.
That's what he's gonna do in LA. I'm not saying he's a star.
I'm just saying. So what we're talking about is the Lakers really getting a piece to help Luka contend.
Well, okay, but I'm saying you need role players too. You need role players.
Well, okay, that's true.
It's not like you can't just get star and then nobody. I'm saying these are good role players, but they still have to go make that big splash. I don't know how they're going to do it, honestly, with the salary cap. And
Grant, they got a role. They got their star, Austin Reaves. He right there. You gave him the money.
Oh my God.
He's supposed. He's supposed to be your
somebody
star.
else like to add to the group that they have already.
No, for the Lakers, that's what they added. The money's right tied up right with Austin and Luka. That's what y'all wanted.
They got to get a big man, and then everything will change, I think.
Y'all got the Dominator back, and he back.
I'm in, baby. I love how y'all be thinking people finna give up that money. Say Andre Ayton. Oh, he might opt out. Opt out of what?
Dominator's back.
That's exactly.
Opt out of what?
No, but and all realness though, and then I just had to throw some Lakers shatter. But in all realness though, since LeBron is gone, I think this will open the floodgates for free agents to attempt to go down to the Lakers and see what's going on. Because I feel, and I'm being honest, when LeBron was there, that free agent bucket, a lot of players was not going to the Lakers to deal with that. Now since LeBron is gone,
I disagree too.
I feel like players
didn't have the money.
Play with him.
The people were,
like I said, he gone.
When LeBron was in the building, when you came in that building, you knew you had a chance to win.
Yep.
You might not win, but you knew you had a chance. Now you had to get with the program, shoe program. You know how the rest of that go.
They trade your ass.
But you had to get with it. So you had a chance to win, and I think guys fell in line with that. I think when it comes to Golden State, I think the same thing is about to happen. You go see a lot of guys who normally wouldn't shake loose, all of a sudden shaking loose and finding their way to Golden State for cheap because there's an opportunity to win a championship. Something special is about to happen. If this occurs, and I think it will. But if and when something special is about to happen, and guys will be a part of special for a year, to say that they were on the team when this thing happened, something that's never happened in the history of the NBA, you could be a part of that. Yeah, man, I'll take $1.5 million to fly around and be a rock star for 6 months, and then end it with a parade and have my name forever etched in history. Yeah, give me that.
All right, last thing I'll say, Arash, before we get out of here, because I got to edit this show.
Yes, that's right.
I just got this, Sam Amick, who does a great job for The Athletic. Sources are telling him that Jalen Duren's scheduled to meet with the Lakers again tomorrow, and strong signs they're willing to go with a possible restricted free agency offer.
Boom.
So
that's a game changer. Let's go.
And boom when Detroit matches.
And bingo, John. It was reported that Detroit said they would match any offer that is thrown on the table.
There.
Okay, but force their hand. This is why I don't know why the Spurs didn't do this to Austin Reaves 4 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Just make them.
By the way, if I'm him, I'm taking whatever the Lakers give me because I get to come to LA, get the hell out of Detroit.
No, but he doesn't have a choice. If Utah matches,
I would say before we go, he's not ready for that Lakers slander. You thought he was bad in Detroit. He get to Los Angeles, he gonna be this big again. I'm telling you, they picked this big.
All right.
And by the way, Walker Kessler, same thing gonna happen to him. The Utah Jazz go, how much? Boom!
All right, guys, we're gonna get out of here. It's been a long stream, but it was an awesome one. You guys are the best. Yes. Everyone try to do this. I think I turned mine off. I got the confetti. We'll be back tomorrow. There's probably gonna be more moves. We got the balloons. We got the thumbs up. You guys are the best. We will see you tomorrow night.